Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. On Wisdom Wednesdays, I share tips on baking stuff. Okay. Today we are going to talk about masa madre. So look up the masa madre topic that we just written. What is the difference between masa madre and sourdough? Okay. So huge difference. Okay. Masa madre in this aspect is the starter dough. So tomorrow's session, which follow the link below, sign up for tomorrow's Masa Madre sourdough production. Learn about the difference between Masa Madre and sourdough. Okay, sourdough is actually the broad umbrella general term for dough that has been fermented a long time to produce that distinctive sour. Okay, masa madre is the bacterial starter that starts the sourdough. Okay, so Abel and Schaefer, these guys, is sponsoring tomorrow's Baker View on sourdough production using masa madre. And their bacterial starter, which is in powder form, can be started 12 to 14 hours prior to you actually using the starter. Okay, so this is pretty fast. And these are pretty powerful bacteria that's here. So instead of yeast, you use the bacteria for carbon dioxide production. Okay, so that's what masa madre is. And guess what? Amazing yeasted crumb. Look at the bubbles. Nice. Now, some of you may comment that this is a little tight. I put a little too much gluten in my rye flour dough. Okay. So what is masa madre? Again, it is the bacterial starter used to start your culture. And how can commercial bakers use this in a process? Now, I don't think currently there are a lot of commercial bakers out there baking sourdough. And if you do bake sourdough, this is important to add into your weekly SOP, standard operating procedures of your sourdough starters, because it's just going to make things consistent for you. The gassing is very consistent. The activity is very consistent. So the production of alcohols and flavors all dependent on this particular upfront ingredient that you can add into your starter culture. Okay, so we come to the class tomorrow. Christoph is going to do a bake-off and show you how to use and how to manipulate masa madre. Okay, and let's cover a little bit about sourdough production right now. Okay, so what's important in sourdough production? Can you guess? Number one ingredient. Did you say flour? Yes. Flour is important. So let's take a look at the flour. Okay. Flour. Okay, so basic ingredients, flour. You need to have good flour quality. You need to have 10.5 to 12.5% protein. Okay. So with your artisan bread, you would like to focus on a higher ash. Sometimes you can go above 0.55, 0.55 to 0.57 or so. You want a farinograph water absorption of roughly 60 to 63%. And then if you still focus on farinograph parameters, you want a stability time of longer than 88 minutes because artisan dough and sourdough requires a longer mixing time. So this is really, really important, okay? So let's define the quality of sourdough, okay? So why is this important? So basically, you need to understand that sourdough is it came from an artisanal background, right? So you have a lot of artists, bakers deal with sourdough with emotions, touch, feel, smell, right? So that is so difficult to duplicate in a commercial baking scenario. So a lot of pioneers in this area of sourdough scale up or sourdough production and industrial side of things lose that, right? Because they don't understand the controls. So let's talk a little bit about controls, okay? So let's talk about what are the key aspects of pH, acidity, and what's in the final product, okay? So pH in this aspect measures the amount of fermentation that happens in the sourdough. So what you can do is buy yourself a pH meter, put it into your CCP critical control point, and measure the pH of the dough at 1 hour, 2 hours, and at the final fermentation time before you put it into the dough side. Okay, so that's simple enough. And why do TTA? TTA is a little different from pH. Okay, to learn more about the difference, go to the different topics on Wikipedia so that you can learn more. Okay, so do both pH, TTA, so that you can get consistency in the dough and the final product, right? So, next question. Why is TTA important and how do you perform TTA? Okay, don't need a degree to perform TTA. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let me move aside first. Yeah. Okay, so TTA measures bound hydrogen. Okay, and to really understand and learn more, go to our titratable acidity page so that you can understand what TTA really means and how to get these procedures down. Pretty much as pictured here, you need a beaker, you need a magnetic stirrer, you need a sodium hydroxide solution. So basically you mash up the dough. Okay, put a stirring rod into the beaker and turn on the stirring speed to medium and slowly drop little itsy bitsy little droplets of sodium hydroxide at the 0.1 mole solution. Okay, you have to neutralize the solution to 6.6 and then record the milliliters of sodium hydroxide, and this is your total titratable acidity. Okay, the higher the TTA means you have more acids in your solution, which means that you ferment it a little longer. Okay, is that necessary? I don't know. Depends on your CCPs. Okay, so that's that. If you have any more questions on how to do TTA and whether you need it in your process, come to Bakerview on Thursday and ask me some more questions. Okay, all right, so let's go here and let's talk about how about making your own sourdough. Okay, can you make your own sourdough? Yes, you can make your own sourdough. So what's required to make your own sourdough? Can you guess? Flour, water, and lots of time and patience. Okay? Make a starter by using whole wheat flour. Sometimes you can use rye flour. That's my favorite. That's my favorite go-to starter. And you can use fresh apple juice or fresh grape juice, just introducing the different kind of bacteria into your sourdough so that you can get it started, get the lactic acid bacteria started, get the acidic acid producing bacteria started. Okay, mix well, cover with cloth and leave in a warm environment for 2 days. Okay, so what happens after that? Okay, a couple days later, you can have your sourdough. starter ready. You put 100 grams of mother dough, which is the sourdough, and 100 grams of whole wheat flour and extra water. Cover, mix well, leave for another day. Okay. Do this for a total of 5 times. After that, your mother dough is ready. Okay. So you can understand this takes sometimes a good 7 days to get a good starter dough or mother dough. Okay. And you can see from here that it is really difficult and really long. And if you throw that starter dough away, good luck, right? So this is what Abel and Schaefer provides, right? So they provide the masa madre so that you can make the starter dough anytime and get a mother dough ready within 14 hours. 12 to 14 hours, depends on your time and temperature. Okay. Now, the flavor and the sour is a completely different topic. All right. Because you obviously can't get the sours going on within such a short time. All right. It needs a continual ferment for a longer time at a longer temperature. And we will cover those as well during the Baker View. So do come to the Baker View. And I have to thank Complete for an awesome sponsorship, because without them, we can't provide this to you for free. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow, everyone. Bye. Happy Wisdom Wednesday.